Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, Enchantress the Babbler, here on YouTube land. Welcoming all of you to join for whatever brings you here. May you find the mana that is here no matter what, my dear, is discussed here. There is mana here for you, for me too, for you and for me. Welcome, everybody. And if you don't like me and what I bring, how about okay, I guess I'm spicy in that kind of way. And that's great because for the topic that I am going to touch on, that I feel called upon to, although maybe no earthly um, human at this moment in time has asked me for my opinion about this topic that is going and is discussed with many people all around the world. So before I even go into what that's about and what I'm going to bring and what I'm going to sing about in doing these things is my ability, freedom to speech, freedom to speak and contribute. However, I desire to contribute. That is in alignment with me and the fruits that we shall see and the benefit that brings to all of humanity. I accept. You know that no matter the topic, everything here is all about your freaking evolution. So accept no substitution. This is a revolution. And conscious be our wave. We don't deal with bullshit in any kind of way. Transformers in every kind of way. That is how we elevate, evolutionizes, revolutionizes. Starts with I being I, you being you, individual too. And then the high-minded crew of society really connecting with each other on harmonious lands, not some snake ass shit, but discernment be the life path and way that we have to learn. And sometimes we learn the hard way, okay? Okay. But I have always been like intuitively guided, and I can go in terms of I don't really follow a lot of like what's going on in this world. Okay? Although I started to again after like a decade plus more of being absentee on what's happening all around the worldly, now I find myself dipping my toes back into things that I find that interests me or comes into my awareness, you see. And then if there's an imprint on me in some kind of degree, I've been sharing and communicating and speaking my mind. And that's what I'm gonna do in every respectful kind of alchemize of a life. So if you come up here and you want to be problematic, cinematic, and dramatic, please understand, understand that you could take that shit to your own homeland. Because respectful I am, but respectful you gonna be too. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't like what the hell I have to say, it doesn't matter. I'm entitled to say what I need to say as long as I'm not hurting anybody in any kind of way or spreading some maliciousness, right? Mm-hmm. What can you do about it? Right? So, and I'm not gonna be afraid of trolls in any kind of way or the negative backlash that I can get for being different in my opinions and stance or not giving a fudge, even if I stand in my own lane alone, which I do. I don't give a fudge about who got me too. I got me too. Right? Okay, anyway. So that's that kind of introduction, right? Just to check yourself before you energetically wreck yourself. Like, anyway. So this is about, and I didn't even think, I thought I was done, honestly, with the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial and stuff. And I have like since my last video of it, like I didn't think much more of it, because honestly, and this is what I mean about respect for privacy. Like, I could always do, like, I've been guided to just do celebrity kind of tarot and insights and all this kind of stuff. And for me, because privacy be my life and respect I have for all walks of life, and I'm never going to pry or dig or say things that is nobody else's fucking business. You know what I'm saying? And respectful I'm always gonna be, especially when people come to me, client treat, right? Um, their information is safe with me. Like, you know, like, imagine that, speaking that, like, fuck out of here with all of that, right? So I'm very private, and so part of why I have never like really done it, and although there was one thing that I had did, but that I had commented on, but it wasn't even on YouTube. But anyways, that's besides here or there. There's just a lot of confusion in the air and whatever. But what's the thing? Right. Um, I don't ever want to. I don't think so. And if I do, it's gonna be tasteful. You know what I'm saying too. So I don't even know where this is gonna go, because this one is just gonna be specifically about AMber Heard. You see what I mean? But she keeps putting herself out there publicly, so it's like, okay, I'm walking the fine line. I'm not gonna go anywhere and like divulge like all her like whatever, and every single time, like, you know, like, I respect people in their lives, even if they're fucking wrong or evil, like, or whatever the case may be. I'm not here to judge you. Judgment free zone. You know what I mean? But blunt as raw as I'm gonna be, and I'm not gonna be intimidated. You see, like, to not say or speak how I want to speak, and so I'm also too seeing based on like me watching or seeing other people's, like, now really, like, when I watch other YouTube channels and stuff like that, it's videos I want to see. It's not about you see, like, some people watch people just to steal ideas and or like copy them, like, or fucking see what they're doing so they can do this and that, and I don't do any of that. I don't give a fuck what anybody's doing. That is fact. And so that helps me with that, like, although people tend to always feel safe and compelled to just tell me their fucking whole life stories and hells, and they're like, I don't know, I just met you, and it just feels so. It's because the energy is energy, and that be real, and you just know it's gonna be safe here, and I'm not gonna repeat it. I'm not gonna go with like that bullshit and fucking like shame you or judge you or fucking spread your shit, like, karma. And although karma, I understand it to be in so many different levels of multidimensionality, that I don't understand it the same way that many humans interpret it as. That's why they be like, oh, karma's gonna get your ass, karma's gonna get your ass, karma's gonna get your ass. Those people saying karma's gonna get your ass, karma's gonna get their ass too. For even thinking that they could do that, karma's gonna get you, and feeling that too. What the fuck do you think that creates in you? To think judge and jury be all you, and that crucify and all this kind of, like, anyways, that's another multi-dimensional alignment of, like, you know, if you want to go there, we can go there, but most people are not ready to go there because but hurt they will be in terms of how you're going to deliver the blunt raw truth. Do you want to hear what you need to see, or do you want me to coddle you? You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to fucking coddle anybody anymore. Right? I'm like truly like have been having my own awakening open door in regards to just I there, like, even now with learning from even past mistakes and all these kind of things, or all these kind of intuitive promptings that you receive, and all the things that you just ignored from yourself, you know what I mean? But if only it made, like, I had it with such clarity, because abstract art we get in pieces, right? And we're putting together these puzzle pieces, and we're trying to make sense of so many fucking things, and then, you know, we're having our own revolution of evolution and condition too, and life experience, and all these things that we are having at this time, and for so many, complacent becomes life, like that. You just start adapting to the robotic movement of that which you have created for yourself, detached and desensitized from that which is you're living. You're not living, you're a shell of your own existence, just doing the acts and the steps, and absentee from every effect. until something fucking shakes you and breaks you and makes you have to see what is before me. Ah, dead was me, right? Like, I'm passionate about this shit. So, anyways. Hey, so, yeah. So, I'm repping the 40 plus and over club. I don't give a fuck how young I look. Hey. I feel like I look older on camera too, because in prison people think I'm a fucking kid. Like, here I see like a woman looking at me as I'm recording, and I mean, how do you mistake me as a child or a teenager or a 20-year-old? Like, no, I have a lot of life experience. Like, what do you mean? But people have their conditioning set of what something is supposed to look at like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I get it. You see, like, you know, I raised my daughter a single parent and active in her daily life function and like all of it, right? And so that means that I got to see, like, you know, like if I go to events or school things, or you know what I mean, and I clearly was a different parent than everybody, you know what I mean? And so whatever, so it's just been a different a different type of stream of experience, you know what I mean? And also upbringing, because of my, I hate using the word woke, kind of conscious, I like consciousness and elevation of consciousness and evolution of consciousness, and just your participation in that development is going to grow or numb, you know? And it's something absentee and you never get to know, like, but you know, this world of woke and asleep kind of terminology and labeling, I hate it, you know what I mean? I hate labeling systems, like, because it's limiting systems. If you label a system, you limit a system. But if you look at the label of the system as just an identification tag to a certain element, segment, atom, molecule, matter, piece that makes up a whole, right? And it just has a part. And if you can look at it apart as just a piece, then you wouldn't get so stuck on one kind of thing, you know? If that kind of thing doesn't work or you can't see, it's just you're not into that development of that leveling of expansion of seeing something more at that moment in time. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I was like gonna go and fly over so many people said, like, oh my god, like, I thought you were gonna talk about AMber Heards. That's what I want to hear about, and do the cards about that and all that kind of stuff. I am. But you can, I'll timestamp and whatever, but for those of you that aren't here and like, okay, I could take the babbling and, you know, and parts and stuff here, I love you. Yeah, imagine in person. Anyways, I'm learning to be discerning and apply my own energy in my own power zone kind of way of awareness. Like, no longer am I going to be dismissive about certain kind of things or ignore certain kind of things. Anyways, but the whole point of even all of that was one of the lessons I have learned in my 40+ years of life, right? Is that if I can turn back time, if I can find a way, I will speak more on my truth, and I don't care who walks away. Right? That's a truth, because there were many things that I had to learn the hard way due to my dismissal of not saying something that I should have said, or not addressing something that I should have addressed, or ignoring something that shouldn't have been dismissed, or not sharing my feelings because I'm walking on eggshells for something. You get what I mean? Like, there was these pockets of opportunities that I missed in my own experience to shift it in a way that would have created less of what the monstrosities and all these kind of things if I would have just, you know, courageously stepped up to my own plate. and not help myself back. And granted, there are many reasons that have created that conditioned response. Shoot, no. And granted, you can't beat yourself up about these things, but consciousness and awareness and accountability and effort and dedication to shifting your behavioral patterns and conditionings to align with your truth that you're consciously aligning with and alchemizing with and evolutionizing in wholeness for you. That's just like the best thing that you can possibly continue to do for you, and release, you know, as it comes up, and purge and learn and activate the behavioral pattern and conditioning that you want to create that is in alignment and alchemy with you. And for whatever, right? There's like one of the things that I'm stopping myself from pursuing, this pursuit of endless drain of truth, that I see the same kind of cry with certain kind of people that cry about injustices and hurts and pains that are not right in any kind of way, capacity, shape, or form, and should not transpire or exist. But you know, this reality, this 3D reality, this 3D perceived reality is something. Where do you think horror movies come from? Right? So, but the cry is the same, like how, they want to know how someone can do something like this, why somebody would do something like this. And although you can psychologically and analyze and come to the motive and the whatever, and still it won't make sense. Like I just watched a little mini documentary of these two girls that killed their best friend. They were 16 years old, and whatever the case may be, from this town, and how they were even in search of the missing girl, crying about it and whatever, and helping and all this kind of stuff. But meanwhile, they were the ones that killed her viciously, maliciously, planned it, and all this kind of stuff. And you hear the developing of the story. It took more than 6 months before this actual truth came out. Up until that, they were searching for this girl. No, everybody was wondering what the hell happened, and you know, and all this kind of stuff. And there were loads, and if you see it in the documentary, there were loads of people speaking out after the case, like saying things that they noticed about these two girls and how they used to talk about this third friend behind her back, and things that they would say. But you see, nobody said anything. Nobody. And again, you cannot blame these children. You cannot say, oh, if only you did that, and that's horrible. Nobody's saying to do any of these things. But the point that I'm just trying to make is that in my 40 plus years of life experience, I have learned that those kind of behaviors don't serve anyone. And so if there's now, because I'm so even more conscious, awoke, and accountable, when something comes into my conscious view, I just can't. You just can't ignore certain things anymore. That's why when you really start going into your awakening experience, I hate these labelings, but again, just for terminology and linguistics, so you understand what I'm talking about, right? When we start this awakening, we one of the cries is, we lose so many people from our lives that we thought they were going to be there forever in our lives. And it's like, no, you're awakening now to the sense of desensitized. And all the dismissals you have been conditioned to dismiss, that created the opportunity for this. And you can pluck away and why, how? But that's their evolution of learning about themselves, and it's going to evolve them. And it might not, and for many, it's not going to evolve them in this current lifestyle, this current life. But the karma effect of how it comes out and all this kind of stuff is going to bring about the evolution of that individual and every other individual that has been tied to it, connected to it, affected by it in some kind of way. And everybody's evolution is going to be different in every kind of way, different kind of multi-dimensional layerings of existence that exist. So if someone's not meeting you on the energy, frequency, vibration, and you're trying to understand their energy, frequency, vibration from a different energy, frequency, vibration, it's like you're like running into the brick wall yourself. Some things are just not gonna fucking make sense. And some things are just not gonna fucking be good, right, or nice. And granted, we all have to find our healing through whatever hurts. Right? But what was the whole point of all of that? Wait. So, what was the whole point of all of that? Yeah, like we could get all like passionate and shit. All right, I'm just gonna be mindful of the time because I am on a time thing, right? So hold on one second. So that's the point, right? Too, right? For so long we hold ourselves back, like, and then I was watching this other chick that is her content is very controversial in the media. I mean, it's Candace something or whatever, and because she has very strong opinions and ways of seeing things, and I can see the way that for some it can rub people the wrong way and certain kind of things. And again, I'm not judging, jury, judgment, or whatever, but I'm sure that there will be things that she says that I may not agree with, and then there are going to be things that she says that I do, right? Or there could be something that she says that some of it I agree with the way she's saying, and then the rest of it I may not, like, you know. So again, like, me bringing her up is just as a reference of what's up, like, to be able to entertain a thought or a theory or a way of seeing something without automatically making it yours is it's a sign of true intelligence. You don't need to adapt every fucking thing that somebody fucking tells you as this and this and this and that. If it doesn't sit with you, it doesn't sit with you, okay? You are free, right? No matter how this world makes it seem, like, to believe and stand on that which is your right to stand on, which is your freedom, right? So whatever the case may be, just, you know, don't be hurtful and malicious or lying or, like, you know, like, whatever the case may be. And that could be debatable because it could be like, oh, like with this AMber Heard and Johnny Depp thing, like, this defamation of character is like my word against yours. So I'm saying you're lying, you're saying I'm lying, and, like, you know, that's not right. But no, how do we get to the truth? And then that's what, you know, the whole court case was all about too, the presentation of our truths in a court of law outside people not emotionally attached or connected to these two, to be able to determine based from an emotional detachment. And this has nothing to do with me, so all I'm here is looking for the fair justice of it all and stuff like that. And if you go and you check, and so one of the things that I did prior to hitting this record was, because I don't watch back a lot of my videos, and even though I timestamp this is why I do certain kind of things, so that I could be able to timestamp it for myself and just, like, scroll. So I'm on the road. I do a lot of things, right? So, you know, and editing and all this kind of shit, that's not my thing. I'm waiting for somebody to, like, hey, who wants to do it for me? Let me know, you know, and whatever that costs, then we'll see. And if that's within my budget, we'll see, you know what I mean? But if not, like, this is how it's going to be. So, when I did the prediction video for this trial, before they came with their verdict, I pulled tarot, and I have a timestamp too, and everything that I said is pretty much motherfucking true that came out for the prediction stuff then, right? And it's just like, oh, so I know that consciously as I receive, I'm like, oh wow, I was right, you know what I mean? But again, the detailing, like, I speak, and I don't be knowing, I do a lot of videos, I do a lot of different things, I don't remember everything that I say. So prior to doing this record, I was watching back, like, I didn't watch back all. I didn't even finish because this video is only going to be solely about she, and I'm not going to get into the whole Johnny Depp and what he's doing and prying into his own privacy at this time, because clearly he has it, he wants it, and he's going to keep it for himself, and I'm going to respect that, right? She opens the door because she goes on these, you know, shows and things like that, and she says what she says, and she puts herself out there, paid, you know what I mean? And so this is that life, but that's the life that she chooses for herself, because ambitious be her wave. And you know what they say in Hollywood, all press is good press, whether it be bad press or no press. No press is bad press, so you want the press, you see, to have everybody talking about you and looking to see how other ways you're going to keep going and digging yourself deep. And so whether this be a character of she or a true reality about whom this woman is, right? Because again, I get all sides of the argument, like, oh, this is just Hollywood, and this is not even real, and this is to distract us from everything else that's going on in the world. How about it's just part of the world? How about this too is part of it all? Not here to distract you. You don't have to be distracted by it. And I say that with complete respect to those that keep saying that too, because prior to this year, I've been out of the media, even though I'm on social media in my own social media land. That's the extent of my social media engagement, meaning it's like egoic. It's like, I'm only posting for myself. I'm only posting that which I want to post. I'm not really, even though I interact and I do a lot of stuff, because I get a lot of business too from my social media. So like, I'm thankful for that, and I'm here for all of that, and that's great. But when I post content and I post videos and all that kind of stuff, that's on my free dime, right? Like, that's on my free time, my dime. I'm not getting paid for that, or anything like that. So like, I'm just posting. And and a couple of years back, when it was pointed out and brought out to me, it's like, oh, you be posting and you want support and all this kind of stuff, but look at your engagement. Like, you're just posting. How do you engage and interact with other people too, like on their stuff? People want to be acknowledged too. So I started like practice, like, so I had my liking sprees and stuff like that. So I would be like, okay, whenever I'm on my liking sprees, that's when you know I'm on and I'm showing everybody else to love, because great, like, you know, love we shall be, like, you know what I mean? I got to do these kind of things. This is kind of that social engagement kind of thing. I'm new to this kind of thing, because when it all started too, I was with a psychopath. So during the time that social media kicked off, and those first couple of years, I was a prisoner. Prisoner. So I didn't have Facebook. I never even got to see the era of MySpace, because I was in my own hell space. There was no such thing as MySpace. Those, you don't even think about that. You don't think. So the kind of social media that I did have when I did during that time was, what was it called? I saw this on other videos, but I can't fucking remember the name right now. Live Journal. And so Live Journal became this cryptic journal that I created, and nobody knows my identity, nobody knows who I am, and I get to cryptically, because I still didn't even at that point really say, oh, I'm being abused, I'm being beat, I'm all this kind of stuff, like all these kind of things. I was writing poetry cryptically, and I also started my blog, enchantingbabble.blogspot.com. It's just still my baby, even though I've neglected her a little bit. Right? So writer be my life, and journals, my diaries, and all this kind of stuff, right? So social media, like, etiquette, I came in like an old person. How do you do this? What do you do this? And when I first started Instagram, I had no idea it was public. I learned because of my roommate. She was posting vagina pics on her freaking Instagram to learn that Instagram was public. She said, oh my God, my vagina was on the internet. That's how I learned. I was like, oh, good thing I didn't post any vagina. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So, and then, right. And so whatever. And so, yeah, whatever. So if you don't want to subject yourself to it, then control your life. Don't subject yourself to shit that you don't want to subject yourself to. When I decided that I wasn't going to be active on TV and news, and it was due to a breakdown of like the shootings that had like taken place and all this horror in the world, and my increased consciousness and awareness at that time was on hyper upload mode. mode. I had to deplete mode. I had to delete mode. I had to remove myself for my own mental health, wealth stuff. And it took 10 plus years before I even started tiptoeing and putting my feet back in the water, like, okay, I'm gonna start to hear a little bit about what's happening in the world instead of just whatever I like hear on some social medias that if I don't want to see it and I see where it could lead to, I fucking skip right past it, right? Yeah. Neat. So now I'm like, who gonna give me papao? Let me know. My celebrities might like it. They like, give me papao because I was spicy on the internet and somebody didn't like what I had to say, and they're like, oh, what she think she is? Me. Ain't? The more that I accept me, the more that I evolutionize this revolution of energy. Like my eyes twitching when I'm saying that too. I feel it. The more that I do this in that alchemy of energy, that's this energy that can't be replicated, you see. It can be manufactured, but it cannot be replicated. Fuck out of here. It's that bullshit. That's why they try to fuck up your emotions, Smokey. They try to play you on your emotions, and then they got all this commotion and this war going roar, and you out there, more! Charge! They're charging off your station. Cool. Does it matter? Does it? What matters is you and all that you do. And that's what this channel is all about. Okay? In case you was wondering. So, for so long, like I'll be sharing some life stories and instances where I will be giving examples of how intuition spoke and I didn't say nothing, I didn't do nothing, and then I paid for it. And others too. And then later on you're like, stupid, that me. If only I was spoken what I see. Cowardice be this conditioning. That was what I was saying about the Candace thing. She had posted something one of her recent videos, and she was talking about on this like stop. What's the video's name? Hold on. The video's name is Stop Glorifying Mental Illnesses. And as sensitive as a topic as that is, and how she just goes in and she's not allowing, she's pregnant too, spicy be that true, especially when Mama Bear come through, be like, excuse me? What you trying to give to my children, you see? Devour you. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Right? So as out there as she is with, again, I don't know many of her views. I'm not here saying, oh, blah, 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 blah. I take no sides and I pass no judgment. It's either I vibe with you or I don't. And so far I'm vibing with how she be spoke. You know why? You know why? Because no matter what, she's in her truth. And I can respect that. And you can tell when somebody's in their fucking truth. Even if they're evil, even if they're whatever the case may be, the truth is unmistakable. You don't question the fucking truth. You question a lie. So when you got the fake fucking people in your life making you question, like, wait a minute, am I tripping? How many people have you allowed in your atmosphere that you've side-eyed yourself and dismissed? Think about the energies that you let in. That's not truthful energy. That's why your intuition is telling you, what's up here? But for so long, part of our conditions, we ignore those things. You can't operate off of that. But you know what? You can learn from your discern that, you know what? I can trust that every time I felt that way about a motherfucker, I've been proven right. So now that I'm feeling about this early on, I'm going to trust my inkling, and I'm just going to help me to see clearly that which is being revealed to me that is a little bit confusing for me at this time. Make it clearer. Thank you so much, because I'm a hearer. And then I'm going to operate in alchemy, in truth to me, you see. Honorably, with integrity. Fuck what they think. Healthy, wealthy, stealthy, right? I'm all for healthy, wealthy, stealthy, right? So, anyway, so her views might be out there, and she even said in the video, she's like, a lot of celebrities follow me on fake accounts, but I speak to them on a daily basis, and they support everything that I'm talking about, but they fear losing their clout, their endorsements, their money, their lifestyle, their place in this space, and so they hide away. But encouraging her in every kind of, I believe that, because I had a lot of people, right, who support things that I say, and because religion gets in the way, they speak to me privately behind the scenes, but never out loud. You know what I mean? Because then it's conflicting to their certain kind of beliefs. So quiet be the sheep. So yes, best believe that that's how it can be, right? But anyways, so what was the thing? So yeah, so I was feeling inclined, because as I can see, because it showed up in my timeline that, you know, in news, right, because of things I read and stuff like that. So my Intuit smart technology has already inscribed with it the things that I like. So they show me the things that I like, or that I'm into, or that I see. And so here I am thinking I'm done with this whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, and then I see that she did an interview. Which makes sense for someone with her conditions of ways of being and thinking and operating, this character display. Okay. Making money in her own kind of way. Okay. Who's gonna get this first interview today? How much did you say? Ambitious in every kind of way. You know what I don't like? And I'm just gonna be as real, and this is an unpopular opinion, you know, with this whole cancel culture and this whole debate and all these people that want people not to make bread or live or eat and all this kind of stuff. I just think about that maliciousness, that vindictiveness, that revenge mind, that, but that's karma, giving justice. No, karma was bringing the truth to the surface, that which was not brought to the surface, so that all parties can move forward healthily, wealthily, stealthily. That's justice. Serving karma on a full platter. Punishment is human conditioning, and so revealing to the character of the persons expressing their side of how justice can be served. And it's an ugly light for so many, even good people. I'm not judging, observing, and just pointing out. And I give myself the worst case scenario, because this is how my mind goes. Okay? My mind goes dark, painful, emo be of my life. I had stopped sharing some of my dark darker looking poetry with people because they thought, I'm like, what could possess me to write this? Is it triggering you to feel a type of way? Okay, then self-reflect. It's a poem, it's art, it's an expression that I got off my chest in some kind of beautiful way. That could be dark, you know what, but life can be dark. And that's just me articulating it into poetic form, making it prettier than it actually fucking is. What do you think? You like my writing? You should speak to somebody. I do. What about you? Can't read that too. Whenever I would, after my whole healing experience too, when I started to speak about like my past abuse and all this kind of stuff, there would be people that, love me. And upon sharing some stories, they would stop me because they couldn't hear it anymore. I have people that don't want to know. They don't tell me. That's how this world is. They ignore shit so they can't ignore it anymore. And then be like, stupid be the wave. But God forbid anybody that came in beforehand and said anything to put that up on display on the stage. Aggressor, problem maker. Troublemaker. Killer. Kill him. Crucify. Punish. I really, like, some of the things, and again, like I said, I go dark. I go with the most horrific acts that can be possibly done to me that would make me, not just me, but like, especially as a mother, you see, like if you want to go into a horror view of, oh my God, imagine if someone did this to your child. How would you react? I'm going to jail. That's the human side. Doesn't make it right. Although it could feel justified. And so yes, it would take a whole lot of going in to really transmute that bitch that hurts. But hurt people hurt people. And that's the way the story goes. And it would take a hell of an evolved being to do what is right in an alchemy that doesn't fuck them up inside. Because a lot of people sometimes do what is right and forsake themselves in the process, and it depletes them too. So it's like a leveling of alchemy that has to exist naturally inside of you, but you gotta create that. You gotta build that. You gotta go after that if that's what you want. And that requires every single time putting in the effort of worthy work that is going to build that solid foundation that exists within your holy being. That's sacred. It's the rituals you make for yourself. This is why I make rituals. This is why that's one of my most popular things. And I didn't even think it to be fucking popular on my website. Is the spiritual baths that I make. So I'm over here, like, I advertise more, like, my artsy fartsies, like my bracelets and all these, my headgears and all this kind of stuff that I want everybody to just love. And like, yeah, let me make it for you because I'm gonna make it and I love it. It'll be the spiritual baths that find medicinal value to these people in their lives and their leveling of clearing their energy field. And the ritual that goes behind the making of what they're asking me for. Right? The stuff that life will teach you. Right? The things that you think, whatever the case may be. Anyways, I gotta hurry too. So yeah. So I'm here to encourage authenticness in yourself, to come out and be free and not to feel so alone or to view it as a curse or to suffer from depression and hurt and pain that you can't let go of in any kind of way. There are the souls, and that's something too, especially as a healer dynamic in you, right? For those of you that do tune in, tap in, turn on, and are actually listening to this stuff, there's a healer aspect to you. Whether you make mistakes or not, we all fucking make mistakes. Wherever you are on your evolution and stuff like that, I don't care what leveling of evolution you are on your leveling of evolution. The fact that you're even on a leveling of evolution is more evolutionary than the person that's not. Kudos. Pat your fucking self on the back. Even to the people here that come fucking here that are like old friends, you know, and here and to receive the fucking mana, even though we don't speak, you are powerful. You are the powerhouse in your dynamic of life. You're the one that's gonna make it all right. It's what you do. Okay. So, all right. So, because I'm in a time constraint, I'm going to use this as the marker of explaining what this video is going to be all about. Okay, give me 1 second. Let there be light. I might dim it soon just because if you are a person that comes here often, then you know I am the light. I don't need to be with this bright light shining upon me. Like, you know what I mean? It was like the baseball game I went to the other day. It was like, all lights on me. It was like lots of attention, you see. I was like, isn't this a baseball game? What's the light on me? You know, Charlie, cute, right? Like, who is this person? Right, okay, so welcome back, right? Although this is just gonna keep going. All right, so what this video is all about is, hold on. This video is gonna be further insight, a tarot read insight into this Amber Heard person, character that is publicly putting herself out there to be read by the tarot community if they so choose. This is going to be respectful to all lives too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to bash anyone or, create falsified anything. This is entertainment for your entertainment, and you can use your own discernment, and you are free to perceive as you are free to perceive, and that is on you, not on me. I am going to communicate effectively, divinely led, guided, and protected in every whole motherfucking multi-dimensional lanes of existence from all spans of direction, dimension, space, and time. Because I'm in my alchemized of motherfucking line, and this is entertainment for your entertainment. So eat the fucking mana that'll be here for you, and all that you do for the revolution that is occurring here in many kind of dimensions and layers. And so, take with it as you will, because we all can learn from everything. And that is what this channel is all about, learning from everything and finding the stuff that you're interested in to learn from. So if you're not interested in learning from this channel, then you don't have to tune into this channel, right? You could even thumbs it down if that's how you feel. Thank you, right? No offense taken. But okay, so so this reading is totally gonna be about Amber, right? And what's going on, because I caught wind to this interview that's going to air tomorrow in 2-part series. So this interview is going to air in a 2-part series, right? So that's probably why she flew in on a private jet that everybody was talking about. Again, this is speculation. Okay, this is hearsay. I didn't hear anybody say, because I didn't look for any of that kind of dialogue in any kind of way, or monologue in any kind of way, or speculation in any kind of way. I'm personally saying without knowing, right? Maybe that was the flight, because whatever. I don't even know where that place is today. What is it? Again, this is where you're gonna see my lack of knowledge in terms of anything that's going on worldly, like because she's giving NBC News. That's in the city. And you want to know how I know that that's in the city? Because for over a decade of my life, I worked in the city in the fashion district. You know what I mean? So I believe I've seen that in the city. So when they said that she was flying from Jersey to New York and all this stuff in a private jet and all this kind of stuff, that could be the network. Like, you know, flying her in and stuff like that. And that's why TMZ was reported, so that they can knock her, right? Knock her, and so that she could be vindicated by the knock by saying, well, that was NBC flying me in for this interview that paid me the highest dollar and who gets the first interview with me. Again, that's just Curly and me speaking free about all these things. And so before I even say anything, I just want to say that I respect people's privacy in every kind of way. So if there's anything that's uncomfortable for me to say, I'm not going to say. Okay. Okay. Right. So, yeah. So I believe NBC is in New York. Give me 1 second. So that just makes sense, people. So for all the people that were talking crap and smacking, like, I thought she didn't have any money. How is she staying flying in a private jet, you see? Oh, and TMZ, as we learned from the trial for TMZ only arrives to authenticated information received that is factual. You know what I mean? That they don't show up anywhere unless they were alerted and made to show that is real, right? Because they investigate for real as to the type of tips that they receive online for real. So the fact that anybody saw a private jet from TMZ and AMber getting out of anything could be clear indicative that somebody alerted them and proved this to be authentic and truth, because it has to come from the source too, before TMZ is gonna show up and waste their fucking time. And we learned this on the trial, guys. I didn't pull any cards for that. That just makes sense to me. So the fact that she was spotted in New Jersey and New York and NBC, because that's what I paused it for, so just check, because I believe, like, again, I'm not a New Yorker anymore. So, but I'm was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. You know what I'm saying? And the city be my wave. I loved the city when I lived within the 5 boroughs. So, and I worked in the city for over a decade of my life. That's how I raised my daughter, as a single parent household, in a single parent household, when I worked in the fashion industry. And I was all around the city. Youthful mama been me, you know what I mean? And ambitious, be the street, right? So you can't hate on AMber for her ambition and her position, you know what I mean, in terms of staying dedicated to banking successfully in her life and making a living, even if you don't think it's right? Oh, but that's what I was gonna say before, that cancel culture kind of nature. Like, the thing that I don't support is people like getting mad about, like, let's say, like, her airing on Aquaman and all this kind of stuff. Again, I've never seen Aquaman 1 or 2 or 3. I don't know how many there are. You know what I mean? I just told you, I just got back and I'm just dipping my toes up in what's going on in this world, like, because scary can be, and it's just like, I before left because of my heightened sensitivities, and so now I've worked on that, you see, over a decade of my life, and so now I'm dipping my toes in and learning from my own waves in life experience of what I'm going to be true to myself about in every kind of degree. Anyways, so as you can see, based off of just even any of my history on being on YouTube, or just any of my history on any of my social media platforms, I do at different points in time address my history of childhood and adulthood abuse experience. And so it's interesting that it's this case that, although it could be all Hollywood and everything, and everybody could be like, oh, I thought you were so intelligent to even be participating in any of this kind of thing. I'm going to do it in my way for evolutionary sake. And if you got judgment to cast my way about how I operate, you can hop off and continue to do how you do, when you do, where you do, what you do, because I don't give a fudge what you do, when you do, how you do, wherever you do. Do. And that's the way, let's see, I'm gonna take them just because they flew out. Let's see. Okay, the Knight of Swords, making a break for it. The Moon. Right, so you have this Knight of Swords energy, right? This activity, right? Big changes, opportunity, making a break for it deceptively, right? With trickery, right? Things that are hidden from we with the Moon card, and lots of options you see. And that is Amber Heards' journey at this time. But anyways, before I even go and go into what just flew out right now at this time, I just want to further share. You can go look at my video of my prediction video, which is nice reference, and it's timestamped for you, so you don't have to listen to all the babbling too. Like, oh my God, I gotta listen to all of you to get through to where you said these things. You can go to the timestamp, right? So because I don't watch back and listen sometimes, and I listen sometimes I listen, but busy being my alchemy, right? Right before hitting record for this video, I did go back and I hit the timestamp to the Amber Heard tarot reading that I gave, and I didn't listen to all of it. I'm gonna be honest in that kind of way because I have to go, and so I knew that I'd be babbling the way that I do. I need to at least give myself 2 hours of this grouping of time to be able to record. You know what I mean? So that because I know myself and how I'd be babbling. You know what I mean? So I was listening to the reading, and not all of it. Okay, so there's more that I still have to listen to, and I might come back to this and make another video part 2. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just, following suit. But when I got to the prediction video of how the jury was going to decide in Amber's favor, right? I did her card pulling first, and then I did jump it up, and it was revealing in both stuff. It's fucking accurate. You know what I'm saying? As general as can be. But her first card that flew out was the Five of Pentacles. You know what I mean? And so that's like, losing something, being left out in the cold, right? The verdict not going in her favor at all. And stuff. And part of the reading that was coming up was that the judgment that's being made is a fair deal. So I just wrote down some notes for real about, you can go check it out for real if you want to see for yourself the quality of audio stuff for that video. So hopefully the quality of video audio that is for this one is much better than the last one. But either way, so I'm just gonna give you a gist of my notes that I wrote down when I was listening to some of it, because I didn't listen to all of it. Just for fair recap, because this is pretty much what's going the motherfucking down, I think, now, right? Especially too, I wrote something, I said something, I didn't timestamp out. I'm gonna timestamp. I have to find it. I have to listen back. But I did mention too in this video, maybe like a book deal or something, like writing a book for real or something. Anyways, but so what I wrote is judgment, fair deal, not favorable in her favor, financial hardship because of her choices that she has made. But what was coming up in her reading that was, even shocking to me was that her wealth is still, she has still some kind of security, right? And so, and this is just how it's coming up in the tarot, right? So I'm like, she still has some kind of security, something that she could bank on, that it's not as bad as it looks, right? When the judgment is decided not in her favor, right? I said, and that for her ambition and her work, she still has an independent wealth to her, even though this is going to be a challenging time. She has profit off. She has a profit that she's profiting off of something. She's still profiting off of something, right? Certain kinds of payoff that are going to pay for her. right? So then I'm saying that she's resilient, and she's gonna be banking at this time, although like in a budget kind of way, her past investments along with her current investments that she's going to be making, right? Because she has something to bank on, right? And possible relationship, and that is the reason behind her stability or something, some kind of something, um, in regard to her stability. Like, like even though this ruling has occurred and everybody's like, she's done, she's blacklisted, these kind of things. But even just logically, without going into these cards and stuff like that, but even going into these cards, because it says lots of options, right? You have here the Seven of Cups, right? The Seven of Cups. Lots of opportunities. There's lots of opportunities for all avenues of existence. Just because you're not hip or 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 connecting to other opportunities, right? Doesn't mean other opportunities don't exist, even if you don't understand. It's like, right? So I even heard something with somebody saying about a book deal or something, like she's going to be writing a book. Of course she's going to be writing a book. She's going to use every outlet. And I even said this in my last prediction video, like maybe it's like a book, maybe it's something, but you have to understand the industry that she is in and that she's absorbed in. And whether a star becomes exploited, or whatever the case may be, ambitious is this woman's energy of taking in and breaking in every opportunity. And like even when I hear like right now, like she has struggled in Hollywood in terms of making a a stable line, hierarch hierarchical, like I guess because you know how people talk about like celebrities, that's an A celebrity, B list celebrity, C list celebrity, like whatever, like let's say she was ranked C or D or like whatever. I mean, it's B because I don't know the rankings or any of those kind of things, but based off of like nobody really knows who she be, and the only reason why now they know who she be is because of this whole like thing that's happening with Johnny Depp, and because now people are looking into the movies that she did, and even reading from like social media and all this kind of stuff, people are like, oh, I didn't even realize she was in that movie. She's unforgettable. Like so, like and part of like Hollywood celebrities and their success goes with a um type of casting, um, or the way that they are with the public, that it's always going to be different for everybody, that whatever the case may be, but like typecast, like being typecasted. um she her personally, um there were so many like she to get lost in the rustle of everything. You get what I mean? Like, so so whether this be a Hollywood creation or a real life Hollywood share behind the scenes to celebrities and some of the hardships that they might experience being human too, but on a different caliber than you or whatever, but still relatable too in every kind of way, right? And on high display. This is the culture today, to sign away your right to privacy in some kind of way, right? And finding your niche, right? No different. To till this point, she had no niche that was hers, claimable in some kind of way. But yet, this villain of hers now has activated, and whether you can agree with it or not, whether you agree with it or not, has nothing to do with it. It's marketable. It's sellable now. um, it's piqued the interest of the masses, and therefore profitable indeed she becomes, and she could be exploited from that too. But how do you exploit someone that wants it too? So they're willing to do what they have to do to multiply these possibilities, right? These opportunities. So she has stuff to pick from. She does, whether you like it or not. And one of the things that I was talking about, like this cancel culture and stuff like that, like people are fucking tight mad that she might have more airtime on Aquaman 2. How dare they use her in fucking video? I'm very big on like now that you make it an option to have to choose from. You know what I'm saying? And like this whole you can separate the person from their art or the artist from their creation and all this kind of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take away from the artistry of them. You know, actors and actresses might be different because now somebody may not like you and may not go see a video, a movie that you're in, and even if they like the other actors and stuff, they can go file for a movie or all this. There's so many different factors to play in, take into play. For remember, in Hollywood, all press is good press, bad or good. You have to understand the profitability of that too and accept that too. It's just a form of reality. It has nothing to do with morals, integrity, and all this kind of stuff. And people want to keep tying everything to every kind of string of things just because this is mass media influence. But you are responsible for you and what you take in too. And I'm saying that from the point of view of having over a decade of experience of I was not part of a lot of part of social media stuff due to my conditioning that kept me away. And so I can have that experience to take in and be like, oh no, I didn't jump on the bandwagon the moment it started because it was years in later that I was in this position and it was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know anything. But I'm doing something. She knows what she's doing, right? All of it. And a lot of people think too that you could just get paid with dollars too. The value of something doesn't have to be in a dollar measurement. Oh, we gotta change cash flow. Look at the opportunity to go in a private jet, to be the first one to interview her after this this trial. That's a reward. In the video that I did with her prediction, I'm just thinking about it now. I don't remember where I said it or in which video I said it. It could be that one. But where I was having hope because I'm an optimist and honest myself. And I'm like, you know, hopefully she'll learn from this. And then, like when I was pulled the cards, and I was like, maybe she won't, right? And then I got to watch a little clip of the video of the interview that she gave, and I'm like, she's stuff that she's still not learning the lesson in terms of truth. And so even if it's a role that she's playing, and this is an actress in some kind of way, and it's still a Hollywood display, whatever, still you can learn from the from its experience and what that is going to be for you in application too, or you can fall victim too to the brainwashing tool of, you know, you're going to be a victim too of distorted ways of media craze that can influence you deceptively, deceitfully too. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things hidden from the truth. So that's something else that's coming up here. So she has lots of opportunities that are hidden from you, whether you like her or not here. Because that part of like what I was saying too about cancel culture and all this kind of stuff. She had to eat. Back to this whole judge and jury of this karma thing. Like people be like, Polynesia, like realizing karma is the justice of truth that was revealed all unto you, that was healing opportunity for those that were hurt by the lies to now move forward and go on with their lives. There's justice. But you got the world condemnation, condemning, right? And saying, oh, she must be crucified. Oh, she must be shamed. Oh, she must be, you know, buried in that kind of way. She must not ever work today. What the fuck are you to say? That's just my opinion in that kind of way. Like, never will you hear me say, "Oh, this bitch shouldn't eat." Like, this shit is cool, like cool tea can be. Hoping she learns, you know what I mean? But that's her karma, that's her evolution, and that ain't for me to determine for her or to judge on her either. To see if either I vibe with you or I don't, right? So she has a lot of opportunities that you don't fucking know about, and you're gonna be mad. If you're gonna be butthurt about this, you're gonna be butthurt about this, right? And as long, and even though like the Seven of Swords coming up, right? The Sea flies, so this is the energy that she wants to transmit into her own life, and it affects others in every kind of way. Your discernment is the truth that's going to sway you into whatever is going to be for you, this mental activity of truth, right? Something coming in, big changes too, right? Seizing the moment, she's just going to jump in because she's going in for her wins. Ambitious is her spirit. In any way means necessary. I'm going to get what I want, how I want, when I want, where I want. However, I need to get it. Right, so listen, like, so right now, through trickery and underhanded scheming, right, risky behavior, she's accepted that role. And she's gonna die hard with it right now. Like, wouldn't it be like I just imagine like reading the whole book, like the tell all book, right? Whatever, maybe she'll like whatever. Anyway, this tell all book, right? And then on the very last page of the tell all book, it's I'm sorry I lied to you. I'm sorry I lied to you. Oh, and then that's it. Ends right there. So you read the whole tell-all book, whatever it is that she wanted to convey or whatever narrative she comes up to bring up in her tell-all book, and you're reading and you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then you get to the last fucking page and it's like, I'm sorry I lied to you all. But you bought her book? You read her story? She got her money. You understand? So like, and they're gonna be like with every single kind of industry of marketability. I don't know. I'm making up words, but like, so like yeah, like so major justice for the lovers, right, and soulmates, right. So this karmic justice that is taking place is still marketable in her industry in every kind of way. And even what I had said in the previous in her the prediction video that I did that you should really check out, link it, right? Recognition, like so look at star-like quality. That's part. So yeah, you could be washed out, you could be whatever, but there's still some kind of recognition that's feeding her her pockets right now. So also too, like it's justice too. Whether it's a roll to the wheel of fortune too, like happening. Um right, so what can we expect from AH at this time? Publicly, at this time, what's going to be made known and seen, right? Truth, you know what I mean? And maybe too, it's part of the evolution of you and me to be able to discern with such clarity something on full display that you can navigate detached from in every kind of way, bringing new ideas and new plans, intellectual ability to you and your truth and you know whatever and stuff like that. So there's some kind of like culmination, you see, like it's not even, you know, I don't want to see anything like so bad, like she might have an unexpected windfall too, a lump sum of something that comes through for her, like inherited privilege, you know what I mean, whether you like it or not, and 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 it comes from, and even though this is a time like to backstabbing, betrayal, enemy, bitching, bad mouthing, bitterness, doormat, right? Failure at something. right? So a tower, an ending of something too. Okay, so trauma, right? So unexpected change, disaster, loss, tragedy, divorce, right? Bankruptcy, natural disasters. Um, like I really feel that even though certain things are happening for real, she has some security, and that keeps just coming up, right? Whether it's from somebody else that bestows it upon she, but still a leveling season, like a working patience, you know what I mean? A building up. So some kind of still being able to like craft something, to work on something, to dedicate to something, to have a success of something, some kind of new job, some kind of self-employment that allows her the opportunity to build still from here. And she has no choice but to be patient about it. So she's going to be patient about it and silent about those moves. And there's a woman in her life too that's providing a leveling of security too. And she's going to stand her ground still, fighting her corner, protective, defensive, determined, challenged, even when challenged, even when opposed, her stamina, holding on to her own, like talking high, taking the high road, like, you know, maintaining control, territorial about the position that she's taking. So, right, so she did this interview and it's gonna air on um NBC tomorrow, Tuesday. I'm recording this Monday. Oh my God, here we go. Tuesday, Monday, right? All right, so I'm gonna have to come back to this. Okay, I promise. All right. So, anyways, in the preview, her criticized the role that social media played in the 6-week trial that began on April 11th in Virginia. Even somebody who's sure I'm deserving of all this hate and vitriol, you're not deserving of all this hate and vitriol, but you are deserving of hearing from those you've involved in your lie, that when you get called out on it, like you brought that into your own atmosphere of experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for you to be upset about the whiplash and the fact that lies can have when you first start them, then you know you're really still projecting on out and really not holding yourself accountable or responsible for that which you have created. So to keep on projecting it out and using whatever line of defense you think you have, that is really irrelevant to the stance, because it was a jury that commended and decided that you were not truthful. You can't cry that that's not fair. So she's just like, you cannot tell me that you think that it has been fair, right? So yeah, that's what she said. So that even somebody who is sure I'm deserving of all this hate and vitriol, even if you think that I'm lying, you still couldn't tell me. Look me in the eye, and mind you, when you look her in the eye and she's saying all of this, is as insincere as can be. Like, come on, I'm an emotional being, and so I like to feel things, and I feel things deep, and I don't feel any kind of truth resonating from you. You just feeding your lines and doing what you gotta do on cue, on clue, but get a clue. Emotion is emotionless from you. You know what I mean? That you think on social media there's been a fair representation. Her said, you cannot tell me that you think that this has been fair. So, you know, the boy that cried wolf in every kind of way, and she's going to stand up for herself in every kind of way, but judgment has already had its say, right? So the self, like, so she's going to have to, she's going to learn from something, too. You can't determine the leveling of truth of what somebody's going to learn, right? So this came out reversed. Right, the King of Pentacles too. So someone successful, right? Earth sign too. King of Pentacles is Earth, so that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energies too, right? Reversal too. The security crew that she has is upside down too. So there might be some extortion, or maybe some extortion. extortion, corruption, of some kind of businessman or something that provides some leveling of upside down security in some kind of way, that is ungrounded in some kind of way. We're gonna go, yeah. Something about this intuition outpouring. So the Emperor. So she has some stability, some kind of protection of authority, like from an authority, somebody in authority, right? The Emperor, right? That supports, that has a heart on for her in some kind of way. Whether she be right or wrong in any kind of way, it's a reflection of where they are in their state of evolution and worthiness, of self-worthiness and love. And sometimes people are turned on by a person's cruelty in some kind of way, but it reveals to them a leveling of their own state of self-worth and value and love in some kind of way, right? And this person could be like, like whatever, but is coming out like it. So yeah, so like the Five of Pentacles too, right? Which provides her, like, and it came out reversed too, some kind of like improvement in something, in her finances and her luck, right? So some kind of positive change will happen for she. You know what I mean? Foresight, and she's waiting on these things, right? So this waiting for her chips to come in some kind of way, some kind of choice, some kind of outcome, and her hard work will pay off, like, because she has cooperative components on her side that are helping her to achieve that which she desires, even if it's in a negative way. All right, yeah. So maybe even a marriage or some kind of partnering or contract or relationship or some kind of thing that provides for some kind of stability, relationship, security that might come into view, even if it's hidden from sight from you. But it'll be delayed too, right? Page of Swords, patience is needed, right? Don't get, yeah. Yeah, okay, I gotta go. So next time I'll continue this.